buying used cylinder heads or used anything on eBay or some of the racing forums is always a risky proposition. Hopefully the people on these places are being upfront with you and everything is all pristine, it's only been run 10 nights and so on and so forth. Well, we see just the opposite whenever some of our customers do send us some of the stuff that they bought used, either from a friend or most of the time from somebody halfway across the country. And if you ever have any questions on any of that stuff, give us a call. I mean, we get accused of a lot of things. I mean, we get accused of selling all kinds of stuff that we've never even done because people say, hey, it's a Brzezinski and so on and so forth. Number one, if it is from us and the guy invested $2,000 or $3,000 in a set of heads, you'd think that they'd have a receipt. If they don't have a receipt, it's kind of shaky. Or if you bought them from a friend of a friend, that's another level of shakiness. And if you ever have any questions, send us some pictures. Send us the listing. Maybe we can identify them as ours or let you know what they are. Or more importantly, identify them as not being ours, whether it's an intake or a cylinder head or whatever. This is a customer of ours who sent us these heads that he bought off of a racing forum. They're a set of the problematic CH350i heads, the Engine Quest heads. These are the D series, which is probably one of the worst. But from a mechanical level, if everything is done right, it can be a very good cylinder head and run that 7,000 RPM for 3,000 laps. Well, this fellow paid about $1,000 for these heads used, and he was told they had about 15 nights on. Well, these things are just a mess. On a scale of 1 to 10 on the mechanical level, they're probably about a 2. First, starting out with the valve springs. Retainers don't fit the spring. And you go ahead on the cylinder head here, and there's no locator, so the spring is going to flop around on the cylinder head. And the springs are set up at 75 pounds on the seat. It's almost a 2-inch installed height. So that's right around crate motor pressures. So use a worn-out crate motor spring. And from a mechanical level, the person did not represent that the head had been through a blow-up. So there's all kinds of damage here to the combustion chamber and the quench area, which, quite frankly, it probably is going to be okay. These heads are good and thick. The aftermarket people do put a lot of material in the cylinder head, so that's really not going to be an issue. But probably the most problematic thing is to kind of look and see how far this 194 valve job is sunk in here. It's like that thing is sunk to China. It's down probably a good 60 thousandths. So this was the problem with the D-cylinder heads, is that the valve job was sunk from the factory, and if you didn't put a seat insert in, it's going to stay sunk, and then you go through a blow-up and you do a valve job to it, and it gets further sunk, especially if you don't do combustion chamber work. Now, these heads here, they've got bronze guides in them, and the intake valve wiggles all over the place here. So it wiggles, wiggles, wiggles. So anyway, go ahead and put a gauge to it, and we have about 5 thousandths clearance. So this is how the cylinder head was being run, is with this clearance and taken off of a vehicle and sold to somebody for near $1,000, and the guy kind of got ripped off. So racing costs a lot of money, takes a lot of time, and if you do have some things that are used that you're looking to buy to try to save some money, which is a good thing, get in touch with us, send us some pictures and so on and so forth. Maybe we can help you out with it and try to keep you from making an expensive mistake.